Hello and welcome to the Ocean News. My name is Simon Tilley and I'm live from the London studio. We will bring you the latest developments from around the globe alongside in-depth coverage of the stories. Let's dive right into the headlines. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung will meet US President Donald Trump in Washington on August 25th for their first summit, aimed at strengthening bilateral ties and advancing a strategic economic and security partnership. Lee, elected in June, has prioritized stabilizing South Korea's export-driven economy amid Trump's aggressive tariff policies. The summit will build on a recent deal imposing 15% US import duties on South Korean goods, with Seoul expected to unveil $350 billion worth of US selected investments. However, unresolved issues, including defense cost sharing and non-tariff barriers, could surface, with analysts expecting Trump to quietly press for higher South Korean defense spending. Bolivian businessman Samuel Doria Medina has officially launched his 2025 presidential campaign under the Unidad Nacional party, presenting himself as a centre-liberal reformist focused on economic liberalisation. A veteran candidate and former Minister of Planning, Doria Medina pledges to eliminate subsidies, close deficit-ridden state firms, and open Bolivia's economy to global markets. Known for building his fortune through the Sobos cement company and later founding Bolivian Foods SA, the 66-year-old economist re-enters the political spotlight amid a shifting landscape following the exclusion of former President Evo Morales from the upcoming race. A rare display of red lightning, known as a red sprite, lit up the skies over Sanya in southern China's Hainan province earlier tonight. These fleeting bursts of light, categorized as transient luminous events, TLEs, occur high above thunderstorms in the mesosphere and lower ionosphere at altitudes between 30 to 90 kilometers. Red sprites last less than 1/30th of a second and are typically visible only under cloudless, clear sky conditions, making them exceptionally rare and scientifically valuable. Russian troops were seen waving their national flag in the Ukrainian village of Yablunivka, which Moscow claims to have captured on August 9th, according to video released by Russia's defense ministry. The footage shows recognizable landmarks consistent with the village's layout, suggesting its authenticity. The capture comes as Russian forces launch a sudden offensive near the eastern town of Dobropilya, a move widely interpreted as an effort to pressure Ukraine ahead of a planned summit between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. During a 12-day conflict with Israel in June, Iranian police arrested approximately 21,000 individuals under suspicion of aiding enemy attacks or engaging in suspicious activities, according to a law enforcement spokesperson. The arrests followed a surge in public tip-offs and increased security checkpoints across the country. While specific charges were not disclosed, authorities claim some of the detained may have shared intelligence used in Israeli airstrikes. The crackdown also included the detention of 2,774 undocumented Afghan migrants, with 261 accused of espionage and 172 for unauthorized filming. Aid groups report a rise in deportations of Afghan nationals amid the ongoing conflict. As Bolivia heads to its August 17th presidential election, the country faces its worst economic crisis in decades, marked by a 24.8% inflation and crippling fuel shortages. Drivers are camping for days at gas stations while dwindling foreign reserves and a collapsing gas export sector deepen the turmoil. With President Luis Arce not seeking re-election, the long-dominant MAS party is splintered and polling at just 12%. Leading the race is businessman Samuel Doria Medina, holding over 50% support in betting markets. Meanwhile, Bolivia's vast lithium potential remains largely untapped, further highlighting the nation's economic challenges. A van bearing a doctored image of US Vice President J.D. Vance drove through the town of Charlbury on Tuesday during his holiday in England's Cotswolds region. The protest, orchestrated by British political group Everyone Hates Elon, targeted Vance as he vacationed with family ahead of a series of official engagements. The Vice President is expected to visit cultural sites, meet with US troops, and attend diplomatic meetings during his stay. The Cotswolds, known for attracting high-profile visitors, saw heightened attention due to the stunt, though Vance has yet to comment publicly. A massive wildfire in Spain's northern region of Galicia has scorched nearly 3,000 hectares, forcing authorities to raise the alert level to 2 and deploy the National Military Emergency Unit alongside local emergency services. The elevated alert allows for additional support as flames threaten nearby residential areas. Local resident Severino Fernandez expressed frustration, blaming arsonists for many of the fires. Scientists warn that global warming is intensifying wildfire risk across the Mediterranean, with hotter, drier summers and strong winds making conditions ripe for fast-spreading blazes. Spain's meteorological agency, AMET, forecasts temperatures reaching 44 degrees C, 101.2 Fahrenheit, with minimal rainfall expected. President Donald Trump announced the nomination of economist E.J. Antony to lead the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, following the abrupt dismissal of the previous commissioner over unproven claims of data manipulation. Antony, currently chief economist at the conservative Heritage Foundation, has been openly critical of the BLS in the past. The agency plays a vital role in producing monthly labour and inflation reports that influence global markets and policymaking. The move marks a significant shift in leadership at one of the Labour Department's most influential statistical bodies. At least 8 people have died and over 1,500 have been displaced after severe flooding struck Cape Verde's São Vicente Island following torrential rains. The deluge dumped 193 millimetres of rain in just 5 hours, far exceeding the island's annual average of 116 millimetres, according to meteorological officials. Floodwaters swept away vehicles, cut off roads and overwhelmed emergency services, with Interior Minister Paulo Roca describing the situation as one of panic and despair. The main route to Cesaria Evora International Airport was severed, though the airport remains operational. Tropical storm Erin, located northwest of the island, may have contributed to the extreme weather. Cleanup and rescue efforts are ongoing. Turkey has largely contained several wildfires, including a major blaze in the northwestern province of Çanakkale that prompted evacuations and disrupted transport. Agriculture and Forestry Minister Ibrahim Yumakli said. The fires have forced the temporary closure of Çanakkale Airport and the Dardanelles Strait on Monday. Blazes in Çanakkale, the southern Dardanelles, and Izmir have now been brought under control. Residents like Tubgabul Altan Gulgun fled their homes with little notice, only to return to fire-damaged properties. Many of our belongings and rooms are charred, she said. Drone footage from Albania reveals vast areas of scorched forest and farmland as wildfires continue to rage amid a severe heatwave gripping the region. Temperatures have soared to nearly 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 to 39 degrees C, in Albania and neighbouring Montenegro, prompting emergency warnings. A local resident in Albania and a firefighter in Montenegro have died, with another firefighter seriously injured after a water tanker overturned. Tourists described scenes of widespread fire as they travelled through affected areas. Scientists warn that climate change is intensifying the Mediterranean's hot, dry summers, fueling more frequent and destructive wildfires. Poland manager Jan Urban confirmed that Robert Lewandowski is ready to return to international duty, following his departure from the national team amid a dispute over the captaincy. The Barcelona striker, Poland's all-time top scorer with 85 goals in 158 matches, has stepped away after former coach Michał Probierz handed the armband to Piotr Zielinski. Urban, appointed in July, said talks are ongoing about whether Lewandowski will regain the captaincy. Poland, currently third in their World Cup qualifying group, face the Netherlands on September 4th and Finland on September 7th. Those were the headlines. Stay with us as we delve into each story in greater detail after a brief pause.